Yes, we were going to talk about Harry Sisson.
No.
Let's get into it. I am not the most familiar with the Harry Sisson drama. Just that he, I don't know, was hooking up with multiple women at a time, which is something young men do. So he's not really breaking any ground here.
Wow.
Mina, are you familiar with the Harry Sisson drama?
Yes, very familiar. I didn't think I was gonna be familiar with it, but then I couldn't help but go down that entire thread and listen to every single one of those girls complain about this dude.
Oh, you did? You listened to them
Dude,
all?
I listened to every single one because I wanted to know if like he's actually being Me Too'd. And the only one that was like any like spicy was that one that you shared earlier, that one girl. And the spiciness comes in because he works for some dude named Camille something who's oh my god, he
Yes.
looks like a creep. Like the dude looks so creepy. And that dude is apparently like grooming like little boys. Like it's like a whole
Ooh.
thing. And apparently, according to that girl who used to be a fuck buddy of Harry, um, she basically let it all out that he, according to her, allegedly knew about this Camille guy doing really fucked up shit with these little boys and didn't do anything about it and didn't report it to the authorities or like whatever. And then she brought it up to him because she found out through like she goes through like how she found out and everything. And then she found out about it. She like basically confronted him about it. And then he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. At first, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Send me more nudes, kind of thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And then later on, he was like, oh, I actually decided to basically separate from him because of all the stuff that you said. And I've basically forwarded the information to the authorities. And she was like,
Oh.
oh, okay, great. Like he's actually, doing something about it. Turned out that was a lie, according to her. And then he asked her for more nudes. And then
That's nice. More nudes.
yeah, he was like, oh yeah, like I reported him to the authorities, send more nudes. So it was like, so that's how she was like, this guy's like really creepy and everything. And Harry just always just wants nudes. And like that's basically the story is like he just
Best
wants nudes
comment.
from all the girls.
He almost
That's
looks
what
like
I'm
an Easter
saying.
Island head.
It's like I look
Oh
at
my
him
God.
differently now. I don't know.
He does have that
Somebody
little
make that picture. Okay, let's see this clippy.
I want to talk openly and honestly about this entire controversy that has
Oh, okay, wait,
exploded
pause.
in the past
Uh,
week. First,
Real quick, just before like he gets into his apology. So when all this stuff came out, what he did, which is like a textbook narcissistic thing that most like honest, I would say most men do, but women do it too. But most of the time in this case, when men do it to women, is that they call them insane and they
Okay,
call
yeah,
them
this is
unhinged.
like narcissistic men, or even
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So like
I was
that
using my
was his
one.
whole
Yeah,
thing
that
at first was
said
like
it
all
all.
these bitches, all these chicks
Yeah.
are like unhinged and blah blah blah, like crazy, insane, like calling them all these things that they're not. I mean, they're clearly experiencing some crazy shit with him, but it was just interesting that his go-to was they're unhinged, they're insane, like all the keywords that narcissists usually use to basically brush off all the bad things they've done
And
to
also,
make a
what?
girl sound crazy.
Right? Why are you dating multiple unhinged, insane women?
He's not dating any of them. That's the thing.
He had a
He was
roster.
just yeah. He was just basically like fuckboying all of them. Like not even IRL. Um,
No, it's
but
insane. Yeah.
yeah, but then told like, several of them that he was only after them. Told this one girl who was allegedly, according to her, was SH'd, not by him, by somebody else. And then
Sexually
she opened up
harassed?
like sexually harassed, yeah, like
Okay.
and
Oops, was I supposed
sexually
to say
assaulted.
SH?
I think it's for YouTube stuff, sexually assaulted or whatever.
Oh.
She opened up to Harry about the incident, and Harry was like, making her feel safe, and got into it with her, like in her safe space, and then wanted nudes, like was like, send me nudes, and
He's just being a playboy.
basically,
I mean,
and then
it's
was
not a crime.
No, but he
No.
was like telling her, like, you're the only one. I'm gonna wife you up and blah blah blah. And then she finds out that he's doing that with like 6 other girls and more. And they just kept coming out.
It's just when you're a liberal and you act like you uphold all these values and morals when you
Mhm.
are not actually living them. Yeah, it's a little shocking to the liberals that probably follow Harry. I mean, I don't think it's that shocking to all of us, but you
I just
know.
wanted to make a disclaimer about him and how like his initial response was to call them all
Yeah.
crazy and insane.
Mhm.
That was like his first go-to was, oh, they're all insane, they're all crazy, they're all making shit up about me.
Oh,
And now he's
definitely,
apologizing.
you know, a piece of shit. Like, let's be honest. He definitely
Yeah,
is,
for
but
sure.
I'm
Yeah.
just not shocked by it, you know.
Well, I'm
Okay.
just shocked that he's straight. That was my shock. I
Same.
was
For
like,
real.
He would
I
make a
thought it was
very
gonna be a
pretty
bunch
girl.
of dudes coming out and being like, you know, he never texted me back. Like, whatever.
First and foremost, I want to start by saying I fucked up. I should have told the people I was talking to that there were other people. And of course, I regret that decision and I've reflected on it a lot and I'm learning and going to be better in the future. Now, what I will
Going to be
say
better.
is that this entire situation has been blown wildly out of proportion by MAGA Republicans to further their political agenda. Like, we all know that they don't actually care about this. They just hate me. That's why they care. I mean, when has MAGA ever cared about women? Also, MAGA has been spreading
What?
misinformation
Dude, I
about the
can't.
situation.
He always makes it about MAGA. He makes
must
everything
be.
about us. Like,
He's like
it's
a paid
crazy.
political influencer, is he not?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
paid, but there's receipts for days. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just can't believe, like,
It's just so funny. I'm sorry that I treated all these women like shit, but you know what, Mega? Fuck you. It's like,
Right?
what the fuck?
Mega
it's
made
just
me do it.
so typical of these people. Like, everything is Trump's fault.
Yep.
Harry Sisson being a playboy is somehow Donald Trump and the MAGA movement's fault. Like, you can't
When has
make this
Mega
up.
ever cared about women? Like, what the fuck?
More than you, apparently.
Yeah, you know, they're keeping the men out of their sports. That's one thing.
situation. So I want to set the record straight. I was not in a relationship with anyone. I wasn't
Wow.
exclusive with anyone. I never met anybody in person. I never spoke to anybody on the phone, and it was done among consensual adults. That's it. It was a very casual thing. Additionally, we as Democrats
Very
have to
casual.
get better
Way
at recognizing
casual.
someone who makes a mistake and can learn from that mistake, and someone who does actual
Ooh.
harm to a community. We cannot, as
Give me a break. Like, here's a liberal guy talking about like cancel culture, basically.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
how's it
For
feel?
me, because I'm a liberal. So
why can't we just all forgive and forget, guys? Well, you know, you
Yeah,
started
how's
that
it
whole
feel,
trend.
Harry? Now that it's back on, how does it feel when you're the one getting canceled? Like, it's a
Mhm.
little different, huh?
We need to be better as Democrats and accept apologies when we're assholes. And,
Also-
we're gonna be better.
I don't know
Mhm.
what you guys saw on X, but what I was seeing, all the MAGA people were like, they were like joking and being like, "Good job, Harry." Like, no one was like
Well,
coming for him. What is he
no,
talking about?
Yeah.
That's so interesting that you say that because I talked to like my friend Mike Harlow. I think
Oh,
you know
Mike.
Chrissy, you know
Mhm.
him, and he was one of the people out there like in the comments being like, and he's MAGA, and he was just
Yeah.
like, I don't think these bitches. Like he was like, these bitches are just like, trying to steer shit up. Like, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, he was just like, basically, well, he was an asshole, but he was just a
Right.
fuckboy. Like, he didn't me too anyone. These bitches are trying to me too this guy.
Totally.
And so he was actually standing up for Harry, and then this guy's coming along being like, fucking MAGA. Like, it's like, okay, well, they all
That's
kind of
what
stood
I
up for
saw. That's exactly like everything I was seeing on my timeline. So it's just like, you
Mhm.
know what, Harry? We tried to like throw you a bone, and then
Mhm.
you're still just a dick about it. Like, come on.
you.
I just can't with this kid. I can't.
He is he has a punchable face.
Mm-hmm.
as a party, just attack and demonize people who make mistakes, people who are learning from their actions. If we ever want to hold office ever again and actually win an election, our umbrella should be as wide as possible. And we shouldn't be trying to silence people
Hold
or
on.
push people away who are vocal on these.
except if it's Donald Trump.
Right,
Like,
right.
There's no forgiveness or anything
No.
like that. If it's anyone to do with MAGA or whatever, if they make any mistakes, like fuck them, they belong in prison. I mean, if you ask this guy about like anybody, like maybe they felt bad about going to like the whole January 6th thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, if
No
if it was up to
forgiveness.
this guy, those people would be rotting in prison for the rest of their fucking life.
Yep.
Good point.
These issues. The final thing I'll say about this is that people involved in this situation released my private text messages, private photos of me, intimate details about me intended to stay private without my knowledge or consent. I didn't consent to any of that. A complete.
Hey, this is so funny that he's trying to call consent now. But it's funny. Okay, first of all, from what I saw, and I did read a lot of the threads, nobody shared any like dick pics or anything. Like there wasn't anything like too spicy of Harry. It just was like a bunch of very just texts.
Risque.
Risque texts. But most of them were actually the girls who were like sharing their own kind of like, oh, I sent him like this thing, but they weren't even nudes. They were mostly like, in their underwear. So they were like, I sent him this, and I was just like, okay, well, stop sending nudes, guy. What the heck? The women just need to stop doing that.
Stop sending nudes. It's send them to your husband.
Violation of my privacy. And I think that regardless of your political beliefs, you can agree that that's wrong. I certainly wouldn't do that to somebody, and I know you wouldn't either. One thing I'm particularly proud of my generation.
I think you
and revel in it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Russell Hall for 5. Someone who does actual harm to a community, like thousands of jobs that so-called liberals offshored for profit, which Trump is trying to restore. Wow, Russell, this is actually the first helpful,
well done, Russell,
really intelligent thing you've had to say
in a while.
Yeah, maybe ever.
He gets one a show, I think.
Yeah.
For doing is moving past this idea that we should idolize politicians beyond their impact. However, I'd like to look at the other side of the coin. When politics becomes a game of pointing out any small mistakes someone makes, we are putting our feelings above what truly matters. How we are
a joke.
Like you guys all still suffering for TDS. We're going on 10 years now.
Fucking hell.
Like this
all
is
impacted by the actions our leaders take. And
it is.
I'll conclude with this. I have some bad news for MAGA. I know they thought they could use this situation to try to take me down or silence me.
They really did.
That was never going to work. I'm still going to be vocal about the things I care about and fight for the things I care about. And if that upsets MAGA, then so be it.
I don't think MAGA cares about you,
Nobody
Harry.
cares,
MAGA didn't care. In fact, it's the liberal women that cared what you were doing. It
You know who he
MAGA.
would be perfect for is that Zoe chick that we just saw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get those two together.
He should date her. Oh wait, no. The reason all this stuff started coming out is because apparently he has a girlfriend now. So that one girl found out that he has a girlfriend, and then he was like, "Yeah, I kind of like started seeing this girl like officially, so we can't really do anything anymore." And that's how it all came out.
Yeah.
Dominoes.
Of course, that makes sense. Oh boy. Wow.
Crazy times.
Crazy times, guys.
Oh wait, pull up the other guy though, that creepy guy, just so people can see his face.
Creepy guy. Who's that?
Let me. I put it in the Simpcast thread. He's that Camille guy. Everybody should see this guy's face because
I think he's from Minnesota. I think he's like a something here. I thought that's what I thought I heard, but I'm not sure.
I don't know exactly where he's from. I don't recall.
Isn't he like? Doesn't he work in government or something though? Like
he works. He does work in government, and that's why Harry works for him.
Right. I don't know why I thought he was from here, but
hold on. Let me see if I can find this guy's picture. He was so creepy. Hold on.
Is he bald?
No, he's got like blonde, like bleach blonde hair. Hold on, let me see. What was this guy? Again, Camille.
Back to your typical Russell comments. Always send nudes. Never stop sending nudes. See, you've canceled yourself out. Mitchell Fields. I was an athlete. Women left phone numbers on my car all the time. I'm calling BS on he never did anything with any of these girls unless he's gay. People left phone numbers on your car? What kind of athlete were you, Mitchell? Curling? Russell Hall says,
Okay.
my friend's cousin knows someone who got a pussy pic from a girl.
All
He
right.
pointed out a strange dark spot. She went to a doctor. It was cancer.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
Wow.
that's kind
Okay,
of
so
a
this is your
downer.
reason for why we need to send nudes? For health reasons? Nudes literally saved your life. Okay, that's
Okay,
quite
that's
enough from you, sir. Back in your
so
box.
that link that I sent you in the back,
Okay.
that the video that's attached to that is a guy explaining about this whole
Mm.
Camille situation. So we can watch
Okay.
the 2 minutes, or we
Okay.
can just look at the guy's picture because I can just look that up.
You mean this here video?
The one with the dude in
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
Yes, that one.
Older millennial.
Talk about Harry's involvement with a man named Camille Mayr, his alleged awareness of inappropriate contact with a 14-year-old autistic boy.
Oy.
Now, I'm not going to come to any conclusions here. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a lawyer, but I just want to give you the information I have to allow you to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. So as of 4 days ago, when all these stories about Harry broke, as of that time, Camille Mayr not only had a social media company that he founded and ran, a company with which Harry worked, but he also had a public LinkedIn that was directly associated with Impulse, which is the company he founded and currently runs, a company that he is no longer listed on, because even though Google shows the archive of him having an account, he has either deleted it or set it to private. Also, as of 4 days ago, he used to have an Instagram. However, that has also been deleted. Now, Camille was very obviously involved deeply with TikTok and TikTok creators. But as of today, he's pretty much vanished from the internet. His entire online presence, which was fully active 4 days ago, is now gone. Now, like I said, I'm not coming to any conclusions on this, but it does seem pretty coincidental. When this information came out about Harry and that girl, I'm not going to give her name. I don't want her to be a target, but she put out information where she knew Camille was up to some shit, and she made Harry aware that Camille was up to some shit. And even though Harry promised he was going to get to the bottom of it and wasn't going to work with him anymore, he not only kept doing that, but she actually has a recording of a death threat she received.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I heard it.
Talking about
It's fucked
Camille.
up.
Well, that's not something I'm going to do. Because if the information about Harry and Camille wasn't suspicious before, the fact that the day after the information about him broke, he deleted every single bit of his online presence is. So let me be very clear that we are going to get to the bottom of this. We are going to continue to find out the facts here. But I just wanted all of you to be aware of the current situation. And please, feel free to look into it yourself. When it comes to the safety of 14-year-old children, especially those with disabilities, the more eyes, the better.
Yeah, and then share my
Wow.
screen.
Okay. Wait a minute. Remove that screen. Okay.
That's the guy.
Oh
This
God! What the?
creepy
Oh.
guy
That's a demon.
like groovy
That is a
fucking
demon. That is a.
autistic
This
little
person
boys.
is clear.
Allegedly.
This is a see-through person.
That's a demon. Sorry, but it is.
This is what happens when two redheads reproduce. You have a clear baby.
I'm taking that off the screen.
Nightmare fuel.
Ugh, for real.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.